it takes one child that could do a lot of damage to one human being.
The real monsters in the world are just regular people.
What do you think is a bigger deal with why this happened? That the gun or the culture of violence?
The culture.
It's hard to change culture, isn't it? These kids' minds were filled with fantastic ideas, but also a solemn prayer.
This should never have happened, and that all life is irreplaceable.
If Pyros and Crips all got along, they probably gun me down by the end of the song. Seem like the whole city go against me. Every time I'm in the street, I hear yak, 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 yak.
Is gun violence a big problem in America?
Oh, absolutely.
And why is that?
Anybody can put their hands on one.
Is gun violence a big problem in America?
Yes, it is, and it always has been, and it will continue to be.
Do you think gun violence is a big problem in America?
I believe so, yes. There's a lot of gun murders in America every day, actually.
Okay, do you think gun violence is a big problem in America?
I think there's bigger problems. Not the biggest, but it's an issue.
Okay. Do you think gun violence is a big problem in America?
I do.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because a lot of people, I have a friend who died a couple years ago because he was picking up his friend in the wrong neighborhood and got shot.
So would you say you're afraid of gun violence in America?
I don't like to live in fear, but yes, most certainly, because there's probably more people who is not registered or licensed to have a gun that has guns than there is those that or would be eligible to be permitted to have a gun in their home.
Yeah.
And anything can happen anytime, anywhere. You just never know.
Well, are you afraid of gun violence as a second?
No.
Are you afraid of gun violence?
Yeah.
The specific gun laws, do you know what they are?
I mean, I just go by the Declaration of Proclamation. I mean, you have to write the bare arms.
Yeah.
I mean, with that in mind, that's how everybody sees it. So,
What do you think are the gun laws in Ohio?
Gun laws in Ohio? Well, they can have a lot of guns in Northern Ohio. I've seen a lot of people with a lot of guns, so I guess they're not too restricted. I don't really know the laws exactly.
Well, what do you think are the gun laws in Ohio?
Well, besides carry and conceal, military soldiers can actually carry a weapon at them at all times, even in bars, into any areas actually, but they can't have any alcohol beverages.
Yeah, do you know the specific gun laws?
I know there's a 3-day waiting period. That's basically all I know.
So should there be changes made to the gun laws?
yes, every day, all day. It shouldn't be acceptable to be like that. It should be whether it's a hunting gun, a rifle, you know, or any other kind of ammunition you can purchase anywhere. I think, you know, they should be always constantly looking to alter and change the laws to improve them, you know, so that these isolated incidents or these not so isolated incidents probably wouldn't occur as much. You know?
So do you think there should be changes made for the gun laws?
Yeah, well, I know Obama yesterday signed into something where if mentally ill is also part of the background check on guns, and I definitely think that should be part of nationwide.
And, do you think there should be changes made to some laws?
Yes.
I think the people that produce and sell them to other stores, you know, they should all sit down and get together, and they probably want to rewrite the requirements of the policies and, you know, who's allowed to have it and for whatever reason they shouldn't. It just should be modified, I think.
There's always ways you can improve laws.
What do you think is a good way to stop gun violence in America?
A good way to stop it is, I think it's enough guns in America.
And what do you think is a good way to end gun violence?
It's the main thing about gun violence is probably there's a lot of different things. The main thing is obviously the guns, but there's so many different things like the war on drugs is a huge problem. That's where a lot of gun violence comes from. The black market is definitely a huge problem. That's most people guns happen. A lot of it, and I think 90% of gun violence is done with pistols. So pistols are meant to kill people, and I think that's really terrible. So we should definitely get rid of those.
What do you think is a good way to end gun violence?
That one I don't know. I can't really answer that one because, I mean, I'm not too worried about guns or afraid of them, but I think it just needs to be more controlled.
I think if you're going to buy a gun, they should do a full background check, mental health check, because there's a lot of gun violence that is just happening for no reason.
I do think anybody with a carry conceal, anybody allowed to have a weapon in their funds should not be allowed in any bar or restaurant area where any beverage can be consumed with alcohol. I think that's an issue.
How do you feel about the carry conceal laws in Ohio or Lakeland?
Okay.
In general?
The carrying concealed weapons for citizens, for private citizens? Okay. As my own personal opinion, which is kind of interesting, when the carrying concealed weapon law passed in Ohio, which I think it's maybe been 5 years or so about, a lot of police officers, police departments were kind of against it. And I was personally kind of against it, you know, thinking more people carrying guns, more problems, more issues. When we stop a car already, you know, a traffic stop, we don't know what they have or if they have a gun or don't have a gun. Completely, pretty much have done a 180 on it, and I am for it. I'm for citizens, as long as they are properly trained and they go to the concealed carry class, which is I think roughly about a day or 2 day class where they have about 8 to 10 hours of classroom training and then 2 hours of actually on the range shooting. I'd like to see that a little bit more lengthened for people, or a recertification each year for people. But I'm for.
We have to do more to keep dangerous people from getting their hands on a gun so easily. We have to do more to heal troubled minds. We have to do everything we can to protect our children from harm and make them feel loved and valued and cared for. And as we do, we can't lose sight of the fact that real change won't come from Washington. It'll come the way it's always come, from you, from the American people. As a nation, we can't stop every act of violence. We can't heal every troubled mind. But if we want to live in a country where we can go to work, send our kids to school, and walk our streets free from fear, we have to keep trying. We have to keep caring. We have to treat every child like they're ours. Like those in Sandy Hook, we must choose to love. And together, we must and can change.